Today we are going to rank every character in Marvel Rivals based on how much I like their base design. Nothing to do with skins and the other skins you can buy and the MCU skins you can buy, based solely on what I think of their original character design in the base game. Here we go, let's get straight into it. Starting off with Cloak and Dagger. Now these are my mains, but I've got to be honest, I think the base design is pretty plain and boring. Now their entire theme is literally just she is light, he is dark. So they, I guess, in a sense, kind of semi-limited. I would have liked to see Cloak's design feel a bit more grandiose and mystical, maybe. But it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I think it's a solid B tier. It captures the essence of them being the light and the dark and everything, but I just think they could have done more with it. Then we have Adam Warlock. What do we think of Adam Warlock's design? He's kind of basic again, pretty similar to like his comic design as far as I know. It's not too dissimilar. He's supposed to be like the perfect human, and he does give that in a lot of ways, but I think it's very similar to Cloak and Dagger. I would have preferred they had a bit more fun with it, maybe. I don't know. I want to say I think it's B tier again, but below Cloak and Dagger. The Black Panther design I actually really like. There's not too much you can do with the base version of Black Panther design because of the nature of the character, but the use of the gold trim and making the necklace quite prominent to like give the design a bit more, I think was a really smart decision. They got his kind of body proportions how I'd expect. I think it's an A tier design. Doctor Strange, base Doctor Strange, actually one of my favourite looks in the game. I think it's S tier. They really captured like the grandeur of the Sorcerer Supreme, the big collar, the Eye of Agamotto, everything being quite big and over the top. I really liked. Then on the flip side, the Captain America design, F tier. I don't like that it's not an actual shield. I don't like how metallic-y the armor looks. It doesn't feel quite right. Not a big fan. Hawkeye. They actually took the design in a slightly different route to a normal Hawkeye design, which I do enjoy, and it doesn't feel out of place. So, C tier, I think. I like that they tried something, but I just don't think they pulled it off that well. Hela design, I think, is A tier. I think it's fucking awesome. Maybe it's a bit too similar to the MCU one compared to what she looks like in the comics. I'm not that familiar with her comic looks, but I think her base design is awesome. Black Widow, very much like the opposite of Hawkeye, despite being the same tier. They've not tried really anything. She's wearing a skin tight catsuit. Cool. Kind of dull. I'm kind of disappointed with Black Widow in this game, full stop, but I'm not a big fan of that design. The Groot design. Is he A? I think he's A tier. Or is he? Because you can't do much for a tree in the base form anyway. But I think they did do a really good job of his. Yeah, no, I think they did a really good job of his design. They've added. They've not just made him a tree texture and left it there. They've added some detail over his body. I think it's a really solid design. Banner, Bruce Banner. I think he is a prime candidate for B tier here. Very much like Cloak and Dagger. I don't know what they really could have done with him. They've not done an insane amount, or really even tried to, but they've made sure that it feels right. I think some of his skins in the game are awesome, and I think that's why they kind of made his base tier pretty basic, just so that you know it's the Hulk and it feels right. The Thor design kicks ass. I like that they went for a more Norse god looking Thor, bit stockier, bit beardier. White hair was a great decision. I think this Thor design kicks ass. The Venom design is top of B tier skin if ever I've seen it. It is exactly what everything else in B tier has been. It is the design. It's not very different from what you would expect, but it is executed very, very well. It looks good. I'm happy with it. I don't think in the base tier, without really trying to change too much, they could have done much better, so I'm pretty happy with that. The Winter Soldier design is an interesting one because they do have a fair bit of freedom here. They just need to kind of get the metal arm in there and get like the grumpiness in there. I think they've done a pretty good job, but I just don't think it's visually interesting enough for an A tier. So is it B tier still? Yes, but is it? I think it's better than Cloak and Dagger's design. Yeah, it can go second in B tier for now, I think. Punisher. I like the addition of the face paint. I'm not sure how I feel about the style of body armor. Top C. Top C. Wolverine design. I kind of fuck with it not being a suit. But I disagree with his base version not being a suit. But the problem is, most of Wolverine's looks are iconic. So they didn't want to do an iconic look because they want to sell them to us later. So they kind of just put him in a jacket. But I do think I do think it looks really cool. Fuck. Definitely not A. B above Banner, I think. Iron Fist, I think this design actually looks kind of cool. I don't know too much about this version of Iron Fist. I think that's an A-tier design. I think it looks pretty kick-ass. Iron Man, mid as fuck. It's an Iron Man armor, but it's not even a particularly good-looking one. Don't care. Jeff the Landshark, S tier, top of S tier as well. He is my perfect little angel. I love him. He looks amazing. Loki. They actually, now that I'm looking at it, they nailed the Asgardian designs. Loki's definitely A tier. He's above Groot. They got the helmet, which is obviously a big part of his iconic look. The big collar, the design for Loki is spot on. Even if you take their design as much as like how they move on the map, he's got that kind of grandioseness about him, and I fucking love it. The Luna Snow design, bearing in mind she's supposed to be like a K-pop superstar or whatever, I think it's kind of mid. I think it's kind of mid. It's giving C tier. Definitely better than Hawkeye, but it's giving C tier. I wasn't that impressed, gotta be honest. Magic. What do I think of Magic's design? Her base design. Nothing special. In as nice a way possible. It's nothing special. I think they realised Magic again is one of them characters that actually has a lot of potential in the store, and therefore they kind of underbaked her a little. I think she's C tier. Where in C tier though? I think she's top of C tier. Magneto. This one might be controversial. I think this Magneto design slaps. He's a bit older. He's a bit more rugged. I think this Magneto design is maybe top of B. Again, kind of the opposite of Venom. With Venom, they just nailed his classic look, and you can't really improve on that too much. Magneto, they tried something, and I think it really, really worked. Mantis, B. Do I think her design is better than Winter Soldier? Yes, I do. I don't know why. I think it's quite different to anything we've seen Mantis like. But I really like the design. I think it's well thought out. I like the colours, quite natural colours, which kind of speak to her whole emotional thing. I think it's a solid design. Moon Knight. Be honest, before I played the game, I hated the design. I've played the game, don't hate it as much. It's bottom B. It's bottom B. It feels again a bit too heavy armory for me. I know that's the vibe they've got going for a lot of characters, so it doesn't feel out of place. But I'm not a massive lover of it. I also would have preferred like it to be more shades of white and less dark shades in there as well. The Namor design, I think, the Namor design kicks ass. I fucking love it. I love the Namor design. I think it's really, really cool. I think they nailed Namor. Big fan. Big fan. Penny Parker. The armor penny is pretty cool, isn't it? Do I think they could have really done anything better in the base design? I don't think they could, but I don't think the base design is good enough to really get above a B. Yeah, she's got to be B. You know what, actually? I'm going to bump Venom up. I'm going to bump Venom up and I'm going to explain why. Because in my head just then, I've gone, Penny is very much like a basic look. And is there anything they can do better? They've given us an iconic Venom look, basically, as the base skin, which if you look at some of the other characters, they've been kind of afraid to do. So that's kind of spot on, and they nailed it. So Venom gets a bump up to A. Groot comes to the bottom of A. Yeah, there we go. I like that there. Psylocke. Now, this is not a very classic Psylocke design, and I don't know of any look that it's inspired by particularly, but it is kind of cool. I kind of like it. I really enjoy it. I think it's definitely a B tier skin. It might be top of B tier. If it's top of B tier, that does beg the question: should it be A tier? Maybe. Maybe. Should it be? I don't know. It should. I'm starting to think maybe Groot should be B tier. Yeah, I like that better. Groot has fallen really rough in the last couple of rounds. This rocket design, it's okay. Nothing special. It's just kind of there. It's not a bad design by any means, but it just doesn't scream rocket to me. They definitely tried something here, kind of like Hawkeye. They tried something where you could tell who it's supposed to be, and they like got a bit fun with it, but just didn't stick the landing. Scarlet Witch design, absolute A tier. Top of A tier for sure. They captured her. They gave her more correct ethnicity. They nailed the brightness of the red. I think it's a fucking goated design. They nailed Scarlet Witch here. Now we've actually got some really fun ones. I think these are all probably going to be on the higher end here. Saying that, Spider-Man. I like this design. I do. I know that's kind of an unpopular opinion. I like it because they can't really give you a classic Spider-Man design anymore for some reason. Games don't want to do that anymore. Everyone has to have their own Spider-Man suit, it seems. Where does it sit? Is it kind of like Penny Parker? I don't think they could do that anything better. Well, I think when it comes to Spider-Man, no matter what, you're going to have people who are upset that it's not just like the classic suit, right? I think it's got to be B tier. It's slightly better than Penny and Magneto. Not better than Groot. That Groot design is good. Squirrel Girl. I think it's a fucking awesome design. They really captured like the fun. The colours, the colour tone was really good. The squirrel on her shoulder's a lot of fun. This is probably going to be just above Mantis, I think. Star-Lord. This is a good design as well. But is it kind of like Rocket, but on the flip side? Is it kind of like Black Widow, essentially? They've not done the classic look, but they've not really improved on it. But it's a solid look anyway. Probably just above Rocket, I think. And then Storm. This is an awesome Storm skin. This is awesome. I fucking love it. It looks so good. In fact, it kind of sucks that I saw how Storm looked in this game and like how cool the design was and the way they've got her hair and everything. I was like, I hope I'm good at playing Storm, and I'm not, and it fucking sucks. In fact, 3 of the top 5 like base designs, I suck with them characters, and that hurts more than you could ever know. But this is my tier list for the base looks of all of the Marvel Rivals character. The only ones that I think are genuinely bad are Cap and Iron Man. The rest are at least okay. B above, I'd say, are pretty solid. A and S tier, though, are the best of the best in the game at the minute. They are really either unique or capture iconic looks really, really well. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.